West Africa has a growing and worrying illicit drugs trafficking and usage problems. According to the UN, there are an estimated 2.3 million cocaine users in West Africa, and about 30 tons of cocaine and 400 kilograms of heroin were trafficked in the region during the year 2011. The World Drug Report 2015 by the UN Office on Drugs and Crime indicates that Ghana recorded the seizure of 901 kilograms of cocaine in 2013 against 290 kilograms reported by Nigeria and 20 kilograms by Cote d'Ivoire. And this, it says, occurred amidst the lowest levels of coca bush cultivation since the mid-1980s. Global coca cultivation fell from 60,400 hectares in 2012 to 49,800 hectares. Countries in the region have been struggling to deal with the menace. On January 19th and 20th, 2016, the West Africa Civil Society Institute organized a regional consultation on drug policy reform in West Africa to figure out what the best approach to the problem is. Speaking to GhanaBusinessNews.com, Maria Goretti Annie of the International Drug Policy Consortium had this to say.
The war has failed because there are a lot of unintended consequences that has resulted based on the implementation of the war on drugs that was declared by Nixon about 50 years ago. Why am I saying that it has failed? It has failed because what we are seeing currently now is increase in drug markets, availability of these drugs in abundance, accessibility accessibility is now possible for people, and the drugs themselves are even very cheap in the market. That means there's abundance of the drugs in the system. That means that the strategies that have been employed or deployed over the years to address the issue of the war on drugs has not been effectively addressed.
The UN General Assembly will hold a special session on the drugs menace in April 2016, and West African leaders plan to put forward a united front to call for a new approach against drug trafficking. The focus of West Africa is on drug addicts who are considered victims of the drugs they use. But the question is, should they be treated as criminals? Lansan Agberi, a consultant for the UN on drugs, believes otherwise. He said,
on their first try, and then they are kept in jail forever. And these are not really problematic drug users. These are people who are recreational drug users who do it because their friends are doing it. And instead of talking to them, educating them, or trying to rehabilitate them, we send them to jails.
The meeting in Accra concluded that jailing drugs addicts is not the solution. They need help, and asked for a distinction to be made between users and traffickers. Maria Goretti again.
The law is clear on who is a trafficker. The law is, for instance, let's take the law in Ghana. A trafficker is clearly distinguished in the position of the law from a user. The quantity that one will have to be using it for personal use and the quantity that a trafficker will have, there is a clear distinction. For instance, if I am carrying 25 kilos of cocaine, definitely it's not for use. It is for me to have some monetary gains or supply somebody to make some monetary gains out of it. So there's a clear distinction as to who is a user and who has a problem or who is a trafficker. So I think the law is clear on that. And we are saying as civil society that the law must go after the trafficker.
Lansan Agberi, sharing his experience in his work around West Africa, shows that there are many young people in jails who shouldn't be there. Most of these, he says, are in prison for using drugs. He disagrees with this approach because he believes it is harmful both to the people and countries.
I have traveled across West Africa, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria, other places, and you visit the jails. You get arrest reports from police people, and then you go on to the jails, to the prisons. The people you meet there who are either convicted or on remand for trial for drug use are mostly young people. And these people are not real problematic drug users, many of them. So to keep them in jail forever is simply not the right approach. It has not worked. You turn them into hardened criminals while in jail, and this is the kind of thing that we are trying to avoid in West Africa.
The final position of the consultation will be presented to the UN General Assembly Special Session on Drugs in New York City in April 2016. This has been a GhanaBusinessNews.com report by Emmanuel Odonko, presented by Emmanuel K. Dugbevi.